Hi friends, this is Chris. Welcome back to the channel. So Elon Musk, Tesla, and Cybertruck had their delivery event today, and I want to give you guys some reaction review and pricing. We've got it all, and let's just jump right in. So the first thing is the event was strange. It was very short, about 27 minutes overall, and it had Elon Musk talking in the dark, as you can see here. So I thought that was really weird. It's just odd, right? Why are you in the dark? And the one thing I want to mention too is Elon at this event is way more likable than he was at just his prior, interview talking about advertisers go F yourself, that kind of stuff. So it's sad that he didn't just stick to Tesla and SpaceX and just release cool products. He can do what he likes, but I'm just saying, at this kind of event, he was way more likable. One thing he said when he first started out was like, all the critics said that we couldn't do it, and here we are doing it. And so, hey, congratulations for releasing the truck. How many they're going to make is anyone's guess. Now, I want to go over pricing real quick because obviously that is going to be the the number one question. First, I'll show you a couple pictures though. This is the kind of the outside of the event. So they had this nice, building, and sort of you can see the exoskeleton of the truck, etc. And they were also showing pictures over on his Twitter/X of like, hey, look at the production line. We got all these trucks. So it's funny when you see this stuff. It does look cool. I'll just be honest. It looks like, robots come off the assembly line, etc. So on their website, and we check this all the time, the Cybertruck is now there. So for many times, you check and it's not there, but it's now there on the website. And in fact, you can hit the order now button, right? This is it right there. And we got pricing. So this is what I want to show you guys. So here's the thing. I want to point this out right away. When you click on pricing, it takes you to probable savings, and so it's a bit misleading. And so then you have 49,890, 68,890, and 96,390. So this is probable savings with an asterisk mark. What I'm going to focus on is purchase price. So I think it's really funny how they kind of hide the price in a way. So they got three prices basically. You have one, the lowest one is 60,990. And that's the rear wheel drive. And then that's, they're saying that's not available till 2025. So you have to wait on that one. Then they have the middle price, which is 79,990. That's the all wheel drive. And then, it looks like I was correct. Well, off by $10. They basically have a $100,000 truck here. The Cyber Beast is what they're calling it. 99,990. However, there is a $250 deposit. So is the deposit part of the overall price, or is it going to be added on? Who knows? And that would push you to the 100,000. But it's very interesting though that they went with the just under 100,000. But I was kind of guessing that, and it looks like I was correct in my guesses. But they're saying delivery 2024 for the top two editions, and who knows, right? I'll just be honest. Who knows if these things are going to be out. Now, one thing that's really interesting, you guys can see the picture here is like they have it driving around in like a Mars-looking atmosphere. I mean, you can see it, like it's all this red sand and stuff, etc. And their initial kind of introduction to the truck was it driving around in that kind of atmosphere. You guys can see, and then like kind of alien worlds kind of stuff. So one of the things I did think was cool, I'm just being honest here, is when Musk was saying, hey, we're designing a car/truck that looks like the future. So, I thought that was cool. It's funny when you put it in this environment, it looks like a movie. Like it does. So, from a perspective of, for some people just want to buy this thing, maybe they do, right? Because they just like, hey, I want to be cooler than all the other kids. I want to buy this thing. And if you're that person, go for it. You can spend your money how you like. I'm just showing you guys the prices and stuff like that. My personal opinion on these things is like, so for me, I think that the truck is a novelty, kind of like a sports car kind of thing. So it's more you buy it for the flashiness, that kind of thing. And so this stuff that I always kind of, make fun of and laugh at is when people like try to convince you that it's good value or convince you that this has great utility. I'm not seeing it. So for me, if you're going to buy this, it's for flash. It's the same way that, someone that lives in, big city are going to buy a Hummer. You don't really need a Hummer. No one needs a Hummer. It's just for flashiness, right? And so, yes, there will be people who buy this thing, but how many? That's really the key. I asked my wife, we were talking about this yesterday, and I was showing the pictures of the Cybertruck, and I told her I think the price is probably going to come in at 85. That's what we talked about, and maybe the high end will be 100. So I was pretty much right, to be honest, in the pricing. And she said, and this is her opinion, and get yours as well. She's like, if we're going to pay 85, 100 for a car, we have a lot of options. And she's like, I wouldn't buy something that looks like this. So, and I don't think that's a crazy thing to say, right? You can get a BMW, you can get a Genesis, you can get a Mercedes if you want to, go a bit nice, nice in terms of like just ride comfort. People really like Cadillacs. That's something like a Warren Buffett drives, that kind of stuff. But you can spend whatever money way you like. So these things aren't cheap though. So that's why I talk about these things, like where when people try to convince you it's value. I mean, I don't know where $100,000 car is considered a choice. On their website also too, they do talk about like ranges and capacities and stuff like that. And it was also in the in the specs page. So what was it? The cheapest one was like 250 mile range is what they're saying here. So that would be the cheaper one at $69.90. And then the higher range, they're saying, what's interesting, so the all-wheel drive, they're saying 340 mile range, and then the Cyber Beast is 320 mile range. They like to brag that this thing is fast. So they're saying it can go 0 to 60 in, I guess, the cheapest one will be 6.5 seconds, and then the other ones will be 4.1 seconds from 0 to 60. And then the Cyber Beast will be 2.6 seconds for 0 to 60. So essentially, you're, I guess, buying a faster car. And you guys can tell me if that's what people are looking for. So like when I see this kind of thing, and they I don't know, it's weird. To me, it's weird because they're trying to market it as being, hey, it could be a work truck, and you can totally do work stuff in this thing. And then they're talking about like how fast it is. So it's like, I mean, I guess if you want to make the argument that there's a new type of vehicle that is a sports car, a work truck, a flashy thing that everyone wants to be seen in, that kind of stuff. Like I feel like they're just trying to just throw everything out of at it. And but to be fair, there is nothing else like this on the market. I mean, even in the event itself, Elon Musk was kind of bragging that this thing is the perfect vehicle and thing for the apocalypse. He used that word apocalypse, and it's like, hey, here at Tesla we make lots of apocalypse stuff. So right, no paint, no chips. Shatter resistant, meaning like because it's stainless steel. The thing is they were bragging about towing capacity. They did I can show you. They did like a pull test thing in the video, but the thing is with the pull test, my personal opinion with this kind of stuff, like here's like a bow and arrow test with Joe Rogan. It's like, oh, like I shot an arrow at the car and see it's awesome. And the thing about this kind of stuff is whenever you're looking at what I see, here's the pull test stuff. Whenever you're looking at any kind of test done by a company, take it with a grain of salt, right? I'll trust third party, and this is any manufacturer. I'll trust a third party test, but not necessarily by them. And because they're basically saying, hey, look at the Cybertruck, outpulls the Ford, the Rivian, the Ford, Ford 150, Ford 350, the Rivian, and the Cybertruck is just awesome at pulling stuff. I mean, and they've been known in the past, Tesla, to re-record videos over and over and over again until you get the exact result that you want. So I would take that stuff with a grain of salt, right? So the other thing too, which I want to mention, is that it was interesting when they did the delivery event. So you can show you a little bit here. Is I think they delivered, I didn't count, we'll just say 10 or something like that. And I'm sure people will count exactly how many, but it wasn't that many. And people say, hey, thank you for the truck, and this is your truck. And he was actually kind to the customers. I'll be honest, he was kind to the customers, and they're buying his truck. And everyone wanted to get their selfie with Elon, kind of thing, and you guys can see. So basically they, people get their truck and then they drive off into the sunset kind of stuff. And yeah, I mean, see, that's the kind of stuff I know. Like, you want to get yourself with Elon, and I get that, and I totally get it. So like I was saying is, I felt like Elon was way more likable at this event than in, the just prior interview where he's saying advertisers go F yourself. So if he just stuck to this Tesla and SpaceX, he would probably have a much better reputation. Now, with all that said though, the thing is you can't necessarily remove the things that he said before, the way he's behaved before, from today, right? It's all, a singular person. And this is something that, I question whether or not people will, buy his products knowing sort of the way that he is outside of Tesla. And, you got to make the decision. They try to make it, this is on their website. They try to make it like, hey, this is going to be used for camping, etc. The odd thing about it is when they pack this thumb up like this right here, they're really trying to convince you that of the utility, and I'm just not seeing it. I mean, I'm looking at pictures on Tesla's website, and it just doesn't seem to have much capacity in the bed. Now they try to make it look like, oh, look all the stuff you can put in there, but it just compared to like a regular truck, I don't know. The other issue is I have with this stuff is like when they really try to force it to be in a work truck. Like I said, in my opinion, this is more of a closer to the category of sports car and flashy kind of thing. But the technology is interesting. So they're saying we're going to put outlets in this truck, and you can plug in your power tools and stuff like that. 120 volt, 240 volt, and you can do whatever you want to do. If you want to plug a drill or a chainsaw or whatever, not chainsaw, but that's gasoline. A power drill, whatever, into your car and build stuff from your truck. You can have a TV and cool speakers in your truck, is what they're saying here. So I don't know if that's going to be the future of cars, where we're all having cool TVs and stuff in our cars. Who knows? The website does look good though. I mean, I'm just saying that I think their marketing looks pretty fantastic. This is weird though to me, actually. When you look at this, it says expand your horizon. That's not the Cybertruck, because we've seen the backseat before. So this is kind of, I'm just being honest here, this is kind of false advertising here. This is not the Cybertruck. That's weird that they have, I don't get this. I don't, yeah, this is, because the backseat's not like that at all. That's strange. So I'm not quite sure what that's all about, unless there's another model that we haven't seen. So then again, and I don't think we've seen this camping thing before, where they had the tents kind of built in the truck. Do you guys see that? That's interesting, because we've seen different camper things that they've had in the past. So I hadn't seen this before. This is pretty funny. So they have these people in this truck. There's 3 of them, and they're trying to make it look like you can all fit in there comfortably. But I kind of question how comfortable that would be. That is pretty funny. But the dog likes it. That's cool. And actually, I haven't seen these racks on the top of it before, so you guys can see that there's like a kind of racks on the top. Yeah, these are this is all on the website. I'm just going through it. But yeah, so this is I honestly don't think 3 people can be in there comfortably. I think that's a bit of a marketing gimmick there. Yeah, and this part's, I think this part's misleading completely, this backseat thing. Moreover, talking about measurements and weight and stuff like that. So it's going to come in at 6,800 pounds, which I think is pretty heavy. They're saying 5 adult seating. Maybe the thing that was strange about and I'm saying maybe, and maybe this isn't misleading. Maybe there's a model we haven't seen. What was weird about the delivery event is they didn't show you this stuff. They just gave the trucks to people and they drove away. And so my understanding of the back seat is it's more like a bench seat. So I don't know. I'm telling you the truth. I don't know about this. Yeah, to me this is misleading, because it's not anything like we've seen before, and they didn't show this in the delivery event. But now they're saying seating capacity of 5. I mean, maybe. Wait, what I wonder though, I'm clicking on rear wheel drive, all wheel drive Cyber Beast. I was saying, I wonder if this is different. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Also 20-inch wheels, and they were talking about how I guess it can change elevation depending on where you're at. And this is more pictures of the thing. So that's just my overall thoughts of this stuff. How many people are going to buy this thing? That's why it's fun to see. There's one thing they mentioned too is if I can find it here quickly. They were saying you could charge another car with this thing, kind of like the way Apple does it. It was kind of funny. There was a video on here of charging another car, but I don't, maybe it's right here, but I don't know how. Yeah, see, this kind of stuff. I don't know how often people are going to be doing this thing to where hey, yeah, see, you got a problem, I'll charge your car with my car. I think the idea is actually really cool, and I don't know how many people are going to plug in their power tools, see if that really is a real use scenario, or I guess powering a rave. I'm happy I did find this part of the website. So maybe the other thing too that he's saying is the reason why we show you the bulletproof and the baseball proof and the arrow proof is to show you the thing is tough. But it's the really marketing to the reptile brain. If you understand car marketing, that was one of the famous people who were into advertising stuff like that, was saying if you want to sell a car, you sell people to reptilian brain. Elon Musk was showing, actually, I mentioned this too. They were showing the crash tests, and the way he said is hey, if you crash into another person's car, so I can find it here quickly, but if not, I'll just tell you about it. If you crash into another person's car, you're going to be the winner. And and that's, again, that appeals to your reptilian brain. I'm tougher than you, and therefore I'm buying said things. So That's it. So that's my thoughts on the Cybertruck release. Those are the prices of the thing. Be curious your guys' thoughts on this stuff. Again, I'll go over the prices one more time, just to make sure that you guys know what they are, and you guys can share if you think this, going to be a big seller. Also, again, they're misleading on that. They take you to probable savings, but the actual price is, the low end is $60,990, middle price is $79,990, and then the Cyber Beast, the highest one, is $99,990, which is basically $100,000 truck. So that's what you're looking at, or car, truck, whatever you want to say. So that's what you're looking at. So thanks again for watching, everyone. Please share your thoughts, and I'll catch you next video.